What's up, guys, and welcome back to Wake Up Entertainment. So, as the trial was beginning, Advocate Baloyi submitted a number of documents, and amongst those documents that he submitted, there is a document called the 212 document that he submitted. This document, Advocate Baloyi requested for it from the forensic experts. After getting this document from the forensic experts, he then used that document in this trial.
Because Mr. Mangena requested your opinion, why did you have to pen a 212 statement?
The 212 statement, my lord, was requested by Advocate Baloyi.
Is it procedure that a person who has been requested to give an opinion and they go through the bullet under, they go through the exhibits using microscope? They pen a 212 statement. In other words, what you did was that normal procedure?
It's not the standard procedure, my lord, but there is, again, an exception.
What are the exceptions in this case, ma'am?
In this case, my lord, it was requested by Advocate Baloyi, as it was mentioned in court that we did view the exhibit bullets and the test bullet for us to furnish the court with the report.
Mr. Baloyi does not work in a forensic science laboratory. You probably don't work according to his instructions. Not so.
My lord, I cannot answer such a question.
Mr. Sireyo told the court that a 212 statement in respect of firearm analysis is only prepared by the main examiner, that is the first person who works in his, on the exhibits. And the person who then confirms his work does not have to pen a 212 statement. They only sign in the form that is there in their website. Is that how it works?
That is generally how it works, my lord, unless the court requests a document to be provided in support or to assist the court.
Exactly. That order can only come from the court, not from Mr. Baloyi. Did you receive any order that came from the court that you should prepare a 212 statement?
My lord, I cannot comment on that.
Thank you.
So Advocate Baloyi requested for this 212 document. This document, it contains forensic analysis, ballistic analysis, and quite a number of evidence in it. So Advocate Baloyi, having gotten this document, he then introduced it in trial and used it as evidence against these accused. But the defense now with Advocate Mnisi, they are actually objecting and saying Advocate Baloyi did not have a right to actually get that 212 document from the forensic experts, because there is actually a procedure that has to be taken for Advocate Baloyi to get that document, and that procedure, it is going through the court, and it is via the court now that they can then get that document. But Advocate Baloyi sort of jumped that step, because the objection of the defense with Advocate Mnisi here, it's actually quite understandable, because they are concerned about the credibility of the findings from these forensic experts. Because remember, they were working with a package that was not sealed at all. So the credibility of their results and findings are actually questionable. So for Baloyi to then go behind the court and request these documents without admission or testimony from the forensic experts, it's a little bit concerning for the defense, because one of the reasons for going through the court is to ensure and find the admissibility of that document, because you can't just use evidence like introducing it via the back door. There are certain procedures that have to be followed. So looking further, Advocate Baloyi or the defense, they actually have a right to request for those documents, but it's up to the court now to determine whether these documents should be admitted in court and actually be used. And it turns out that the court had actually not given a say on whether they should be admitted or not, and this evidence was actually being used in court. So the defense now is challenging this and has an intention to throw all of this forensic analysis and evidence out of the court. So here Advocate Baloyi is sort of like fighting with a potential ruling by the court that might actually exclude all of this evidence unless proper processes are followed. So what does this mean for the state? It's putting them in a very, very tight corner on this one. Now let's look at the accused themselves. What does this mean, this procedure by Advocate Baloyi not to follow the correct procedures? Obviously, the state, their case is definitely weakened here, and there are potential like legal consequences for the prosecution, because if Judge Rat actually determines that Baloyi's actions were actually flawed and he didn't follow proper procedures, then the evidence, as I said, is going to be excluded. And this could be a possible victory for the accused, because the case of the state has been weakened greatly, and the defense is now like having a stronger case, and the trial is going to be in their favor. It's very possible that Judge Rata might actually dismiss all the charges against the accused. At the same time, going forward, if the court just like moves forward and just more of like brushes this issue aside, this is going to create a grounds for appeal, because it's like the court has like admitted evidence that was improperly admitted due to Baloyi's overstepping. The defense is obviously going to argue that the trial itself was not fair, and that the judge Rata actually made a legal error in accepting that evidence. So it will be very possible in the future for the appeal court to actually determine that these accused did not like receive a fair trial due to all of these errors that were occurring. And also in future cases, this case itself is going to have a heavy impact going forward. But looking at it very closely, the chances of these accused to be released based off of this overstep by Baloyi, they are kind of slim, because the court will be looking at the severity of the overstep, like how much of an impact was Baloyi's overstepping, like how big of a step was it really, and how much was it impacting the trial all along. Because the court itself is going to be very cautious in releasing these accused without any strong legal grounds. Because remember, they once released the first accused back years ago because there just wasn't enough evidence. But here the state now, despite all of this forensic evidence, they also have other evidences that are linking these accused. So now the chances of these guys being released based off this overstep by Baloyi, they're actually there, but they aren't that big. So in the past in South Africa, there are a number of cases actually of the accused that were released based off of the misstep of the investigators. For example, the Klopper case in 2011, the Sibusiso Moyo case in 2006. It's actually possible for the accused to be released based off of the procedural errors that would be occurring and being done by the state or the prosecutors themselves. This is like, for example, the improper handling of forensic evidence. It can actually lead to reopening of the case or overturning of the convicted themselves. And in this case, there seems to be a improper handling of the forensic evidence. But what is possible, what I'm seeing here, is that the accused might get a new trial. That's what I'm seeing here. So tell me what you think in the comment section, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.